we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado. This is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
What's up, y'all? We're back at you. Man, it's my favorite place to be. I look forward to Wednesdays so I get together with my good friend
Having
here.
a hell of a night.
It's DCPC, man. DCPC family. Discussion Combustion Podcast is my favorite thing. And you know what? It's really all about the people. And I love that you guys are with us each and every week. It brings so much brightness to my week, and I hope it does the same for yours. Really appreciate your time that you spend with us week in and week out. It's good to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you, man. You know, it was a terrific Wednesday. I would rather say wonderful Wednesday and save terrific for Tuesday, because that's
Thursday.
It's a thriving Thursday.
A thriving Thursday.
Yeah, you have to, you got to meet it up.
Well, here's the thing.
Like a fantastic Friday.
All you guys tuning in right now, hope you're having a thriving Thursday.
Yeah, make your Thursday thriving, or whatever day it is. Make it rhyming and have fun with that.
Yeah, man, have a good time with it. That's what life's about. It's life's just too short to be taking things too seriously. And I'll tell you this, man, I've been taking some CBD for the last 14, 15 months. I was skeptical about it at first. I didn't understand it. But I've been taking this product from Mountain Made CBD, and it's made me feel absolutely amazing. I love the products these guys offer. It's super easy to go on their website and get the products you need. Mm-hmm. They have so many things in place, man, to make it easy.
They do. And the website that you want to visit is mountainmade.life. And there is where you can explore all the CBD possibilities, man. I'm telling you, I really enjoy the boost, the electrolytes through the day with my workouts. Sometimes that helps me refuel after I expel all that energy. And it's just about feeling good. I've been taking the Combat as well. Auto pay, auto ship, auto discount. They have those features on there. And it's a Colorado company, shipped nationwide. If you're a dispensary or a store that can have CBD and you are looking for a great CBD product, definitely check out Mountain Made.
It's just good stuff, man. Honestly, I can say from personal experience, I've taken every product that these guys offer. The Build, Boost, Recover. I haven't smoked the Puff. I've heard great things about it.
It's good.
If you want that CBD alternative option when you're smoking your flower, Puff's available. These guys are also ripping tater chipping with the Combat. They got the Defense, and they got CBD for your furry friends. They're constantly innovating. Tremendous product, the CBD fuel you need to succeed. I love it, man. Helps me get rest. It helps me get going. We took some boost before we went on air, and we're pumped up because of it. Mountain Made CBD, mountainmade.life is where you're going to stock up, guys. I'm telling you, you're probably tired of hearing us talk about it every week, but it truly is the clearest, the purest, the most affordable CBD on the market, and that's that hashtag Go Like Hell mentality.
Yeah, let's go like hell. And also, we are brought to you by a Wild Outdoor Adventures. That's WOAMEET.com, and that's where you're going to go to sign up at no charge. You can start a blog, ask questions. The whole thing about this is, if you're trying to check out Colorado, you want to see some places, you maybe take some recommendations, go with people of similar interest, hope for teens, hope for vets, entrepreneurs. So there's all these different hope for singles. So check it out. It's a free and easy to use website. All you got to do is just log in with your coolest username. You can make it like Trek and Trail 9 or something.
Yeah. Whatever it is that you want to sign in with, they're ready to handle what you need. And the cool thing about WOA is, they're really available on all social media platforms, and you can see some of these hikes that they do on YouTube. Kevin Fryer does a tremendous job documenting and recording some of the experiences that these guys have when they go out on these trails and they hit these rivers and they do all this fun stuff. It makes you want to be there. You get to live vicariously through their videos if you can't. But if you're in Colorado, Wild Outdoor Adventures is going to get you ripping, tater, chipping outdoors, making some great friends, meeting some fun people, blogging with them online. It's just a terrific company.
Life's all about the little things. And if you can make some memories and cherish some times that you can look back at, there's nothing more valuable than that in my mind. And that's what you're going to find with less dreaming and more exploring.
That's it, man. And here we are. It's episode 86.
86.
And, man.
And this is what we ran into today.
This is perfect timing for this to happen.
It is.
My phone went through an update, and we've had issues casting the logo to the screen, guys. We've spent the last hour working on this before we went on air. So we decided, let's just let it rip. Let's just let it run. We'll figure it out as we go. And we still haven't really figured out a solution. So
it's not figured out yet, but at least it lasted through the ad reads. You know, because that you can't have that happening like mid ad read.
You can't have
and
it.
honestly, we can't have it happening during an episode, and that's probably going to happen a couple times during this episode. But it's all part of it. You know, things happen. You have to try to work your way through it. Be adaptable. You know, how are you going to tackle this next challenge? Because there's always going to be a next challenge. I hope, or else you're living a dull life if there's never any challenge. You got to challenge yourself, and so it's just another challenge that we are encountering because we're setting out to put this out to the world.
Yeah, just got to adapt and overcome. I get frustrated really easy with technology. I absolutely hate technology. I hate it. I feel like I know some things, and then things go sideways. They go off the rails. I get really pissed off. Arthur dealt with that before we went on air. I was getting a little bit fired up. He settled me down. We had a couple beers. We talked it out. And we said, let's do this thing, man. This is solo. This is a planned solo. I'm super stoked to be here. So if you guys are just listening, obviously it won't make much difference to you because you're not seeing what's going on. But watching on YouTube, we're working through the logo issue behind us, guys. And we're going to get through this thing just fine.
Man, but the week is going really good. I'm enjoying my week. It's been a challenge as always. You know, when you're in a lull, sometimes there's logistics where, you know, it slows down a little bit. So what are you going to do to keep yourself like productive and moving forward? You know, I try to help out my coworkers where I can, try to be a leader, bring some positive energy to the table. You know, it's not that hard. Like if you're not afraid of talking with folks and just saying, you know, hey, how's your day going? Or, hey, I hope your day's starting off good. Like if that doesn't bother you, and you got people on a message or a chat, you know, it doesn't hurt just to send that out real quick. It's super easy, and it might really encourage somebody and help them feel a part of a team. Where a lot of us are working remote. I know Kevin isn't, and a lot of our other essential workers are not. But even if you're in those businesses, you know, just say it to somebody instead of sending a chat or a message. Just say, you know, hey, how's your day going? Hey, you're looking good this week. You know, did you change your diet? Just you know, there little interactions like that can really build a momentum on a day. Because if you're doing that, you're participating in it, you're noticing it, you're being selfless. You know, as your day continues and you move forward, you know, by the time you're going to sleep, like you look back at what you've accomplished and what the kind of energy you put out, and it could be pretty rewarding. And it's little things, you know, we could all do little things.
I agree with that, man. I mean, I try. You know, I'm in the public every day, and I like to interact with people. It's one of my favorite parts of the day, is being able to talk with great people. You know, great coworkers, people coming in and out, and it is fun to just you know, say, hey, what's going on? You know, what are you thinking? What's going on in your world today? And some people are like, I don't know why you're talking to me, and other people will sit there and talk to you for 30 minutes. So that's just, you know, kind of you know, obviously I love talking. Here I am at DCPC, you know, so I'm forced to be able to rub shoulders and interact with people on a day-to-day basis. I love it. It brings joy to me. You know, with a mask on, of course, we're still doing that thing. Hopefully that's gone by summer, but
Hopefully.
I'm not, you know, I'm not dogging on it. I'm a fan of it. You know, it's good to be kind to others. You know?
Sometimes I forget I'm even, like, I'll go into the store, walk into my car, be sitting in my car for like 10, 15 minutes and realize that I still have the mask on. Like I forget it's even there sometimes.
Oh, I don't. When you wear it every day for 40 hours a week, the second you have freedom and you're able to get a breath of fresh air, you rip that thing off and you take in that fresh air. That fresh air is what you need.
Air in the lungs.
You need it, man. Because I'm telling you
Breathe
this.
it in.
When you're doing physical labor in a mask, I don't care. There's a lot of people out there that know what I'm talking
But
about.
you still get the same amount of oxygen.
I just don't agree with that.
There's
Something
stats.
is restricted because I do not breathe as well with a mask on. Is it the nitrogen level? Is it the oxygen level? I don't know what it is, Art. But what I'm telling you is I can't perform as well.
It's a foreign object.
There's a reason they say it's unhealthy to work out in a mask. It is not healthy.
They say that?
Yeah, it's unhealthy. It's completely unhealthy.
Maybe it's this because you breathe out, you know, CO2, and it's right there. So maybe you're recycling a little bit more of that, and maybe that's why you feel.
I don't know.
But I'm not a scientist. All I could do is come up with hypotheses that are probably correct.
I mean, who knows what they are? I'll wear the mask. I'll continue to wear it. I just don't perform as well with it on as with it off.
Yeah.
So whatever's happening in there, I don't know what it is, but I prefer to not have it on my face.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you know, let's keep each other safe. This
Well,
year's rolling by. You know, I can't believe this, but hopefully that hopefully we're able to, you know, have this vaccine really kick in and change things here and help move this year forward, because
I'm not getting it.
Come in March, last year, it's just been steady issues.
I'm not getting it.
Why not, Kevin?
I'm not getting it, man. That's my position. It's my choice. It's not mandatory. My company's already said we're not going to require you to get it. We encourage you to get it.
But what?
My choice
How about
is
after like a year? Let's
not
say
getting
that's
it, Art.
fine.
I'm not getting it.
Well, I mean, if it's already been trial run and everything's fine,
Don't care.
But
The flu shot's been trial run for years and years and years. I don't get that either.
So, I mean, there's just always that risk,
What's the risk?
Well, potentially, then you could potentially catch it.
Right.
But then if you were to spread it, would the people who have the shot be able to get it?
I'm not a scientist. All I know is I don't believe in enforced vaccinations. I don't think that's what's going to happen. If I have the option to choose, I'm going to choose not to get it. And I want to make this very clear, because I know I'm going to get a lot of heat from this. I am not anti-vaccination at all. I understand it's why we've gotten rid of major diseases like polio and measles, mumps, rubella, you name it. I understand it. I am just choosing to not get the COVID vaccination for the same reason I choose not to get the flu shot. That's my position.
I mean, I can kind of understand your stance to it. I mean, I'm vaccinated for all the normal stuff, and with as far as annual vaccinations, I don't know if I have as hard as a stance as you do, because occasionally I'll get it, like maybe every other couple years or whatever. But I feel like when I do go get it, I end up getting sick, and I normally stay healthier when I don't get it. So I really think it just depends on the person. What kind of pre-existing conditions do you have? What are you dealing with health-wise? Is it a smarter idea for you to have that than not? Because if you're at a higher risk, then it makes sense to want to vaccinate more, opposed to if you're not as high as a risk and you normally feel healthy without it. Because do I put other people at risk then? If I don't get my flu shot annually, and then I don't feel like I get sick or anything, am I putting people at risk then? Am I even getting sick? Am I carrying it being asymptomatic? So there's so many different variations and ways that how are you going to critique it to see if it makes sense? It's how you feel, so it's your personal choice. And generally, I don't get the annual flu shot either, but I do get it occasionally. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, I've never gotten the flu shot. I don't think it should be not available. I think it absolutely should be available, and go get it. Go get it. The second it's available, if you want to get it, go get it. But don't judge me for not getting it, is all I'm saying. It's my choice not to get it. I think you should go get it if that's what feels right for you. Look, the flu has so many different variants every year. So many people get sick. I know a lot of people that are what they would consider high risk for COVID right now, respiratory issues. I won't name names, but that are high risk and prone to COVID that are not going to get the vaccination. For the same reason. Look, I'm not a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying there's any conspiracies behind this and that there's any mission behind it. I'm just saying I believe in personal freedom. Number one, I don't like needles. Okay, because people ask me, well, what's the reason you want to get you afraid of this and that? I don't like needles. I don't like. I had to get a steroid shot a year ago because they said it was life-threatening if I didn't, because I had an allergic reaction to amoxicillin. So I was, I had no choice but to get that, or I was going to die. So some people might use that against me. But I am not going to get the vaccination. And I will not necessarily die on the hill for this. Because it might come to a point where I might not be able to board an airplane or attend another NASCAR race or go to another concert unless I'm vaccinated, and I will cross that bridge when I get to it. But all I'm telling you right now is...
You would get it done if that was the requirement.
I don't know if I would.
I think I had a conversation with you once where you're like, dude, if my job says I need it, then you'll get it. That's not the same as, a sporting event or anything.
I don't know how I'm going to react because I'm not in that situation yet. So it's easier for me to sit here and be 10 feet tall and bulletproof and talk bullshit to you. But what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to fight as long as I can. And it's not for any, I have no political agenda. I'm not trying to persuade people. I'm just saying I don't personally want to get it. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine. I mean, even if you are high risk and you want to stay safe, you could even, if you're okay with, maybe some of these people who are high risk aren't really leaving their homes that often anyway. So it's like if you're already isolated, how important, I'm not here to make decisions for anybody. This is kind of like walking on thin ice here, I feel like.
Well, that's a touchy subject, and I already know I put myself out there to get scrutinized, and I'm okay with that because I just want to be real and honest with you guys. That's my position on it. I believe in science. I trust what these guys are saying.
So what about...
Go ahead.
let's just change the subject. What about the whole climate change things? We were talking about that a couple days ago.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to ask me?
Well, okay, based on our last conversation, and correct me if I'm wrong, your kind of stance was that you believe in that the climate is changing, so you agree with that, but you feel like that to change it, it's irreversible. Like we can't really undo what's been done as far as climate. It happens naturally anyway, right? But so it's a waste of money, kind of technically. Is that overall what your perspective was?
I think that the reason I think that we can't do anything about it is because I'm being realistic when I say that it would take 85% of the world to be in agreement with what needs to happen.
You would need to get everybody on board to really make a change. That's true.
That's the reason I feel like, okay, when we really look at this from a critical eye and we look at what can we do, sure, we just rejoined the Paris Accord. There's certain things we can do here at home to do our part.
Yeah.
But when you look at the remainder of the globe, these guys are not on board. You look at the filth and the trash that's dumped into the oceans and the carbon output in a lot of countries around the world. These guys, are not. I just don't have confidence that we can get enough of the globe in agreement to actually make a difference.
Yeah.
And I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in any of this. That's just a gut intuition feeling of looking at it with a critical eye, going, is this really worth our time? I will always hear the arguments about it. I want to hear what we can do. Sure. I'm not going to just, bury my head in the sand.
Yeah.
But being realistic about it, that's my position with climate change. And that's why I feel like, is this really a top priority? Is this something that we can actually make a scientific impact on to change the outcome of what happens next?
Well, and I feel like, the climate is going to continue to change. The cycles of this planet are seen. There's ice ages and then there's warming periods, and that happens. And there's been like 3 or 4 of those throughout the lifespan, something like that of Earth. So yeah, it's going to continue to happen like that. But if humans are to survive beyond, resources, if we're going to survive 500 to another 1,000 years on this planet, we're going to have to find other ways of renewable energy. And that's the fact of it, because even if the next ice age comes, or when it does, there's going to be a lot of people packed in at the equator. We're eventually fossil fuels can run out. So I feel like it's not wasted time or energy, developing this. It creates jobs, climate change, all that green energy, all that.
But it also kills jobs while doing it. I mean, we just saw last week with the eliminating the Keystone Pipeline production and getting away from some of the occurring oil has already put, this was fact checked today, it already put many jobs on Biden's first day, gone.
I mean, I get that, but that's an old industry, and it's going to be around for a long time. It's so integrated that it's not disappearing for a couple 100 years or more, because it's part of the infrastructure. And so it's hard to remove that, especially when that fuel source is still abundant and available. So it's still going to be in the mix, but these pipelines weren't they running through like reservations and on all this other stuff, and like I don't know, because that's a whole debate on itself, like how Native Americans are treated in this country and how.
But now we're getting off topic though. When it comes to, because here's the thing is now you're suggesting that fossil fuels are the main ingredient to climate change. But there's a lot of factors of climate change, right? It's not just
but it's how we use it and how it distributes after it's went through its cycle of usage with us. So if we can find a way, because regardless, fuel will run out, and we'll probably use it until it's gone. But after that, if humans are still alive at that point, what are you gonna do? How's it all gonna work? So you're gonna need these technologies regardless.
Well, and we're already headed that way, I think, organically as it is. You look at what Tesla's done and where the electric car industry is headed. There's no question. NASCAR is already talking about going electric in possibly mid-2020s.
That would be cool.
So we're kind of heading that way already. So there's certain things like that, whatever we have to do for innovation to. I
guess that would be sad in NASCAR, though, because then the engine noise would be way down.
My favorite part.
I know.
Speaking of NASCAR. But look, again, I'm not I'm not an anti-science, I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Okay.
I just don't. I haven't heard a convincing argument to suggest what we can do globally. I know what we can do here nationally. What
Yeah.
can we do globally with everybody in agreement that is actually going to slow this thing down?
Yeah.
And slow it down enough to make it worth whatever it is we're going to take next. How much time are we buying? 10 years? You know, what are we going to actually do to make a difference here?
Well,
That's worth our time and money.
I mean, I've seen some stuff, and obviously there's always stuff on the internet, and who knows how factual this stuff is. But oh man, I wish I could. I'm gonna try to describe it. It was like these huge, big old looking generator things that are like, 3 semis stacked on top, tall, and like a semi in length. So like 53 feet plus, however high, like over 20 something feet high, 30 feet high. And basically what they did, and I don't think these actually exist yet, but it was like, things that they're trying to develop, and it would just suck in CO2, and it would like make it non-CO2. Cause the thing is, and if that would work, that'd be great. If everybody got on board, especially all the heavy producers in the bigger cities, the Far East out there, Far East needs to do it. The West needs to do it. Everybody needs to get on board here. And, that's going to be the only way that it's plausible. But if we have to try something, because if it continues to increase like it is, coral life is dying, and if the oceans die, like that's going to affect everything on the lands, so the oceans need to be taken care of, especially with like plastic problems. Like we need to get into recyclables more and reusable cups. Like there's so many areas that need to be addressed in order to actually tackle this.
And that's what I was kind of, going back to what I was saying originally, when you look at it on a global level, the amount of trash that's dumped into the oceans, from India and a lot of other countries in that vicinity, in that peninsula, because I don't know exactly which countries are doing what, but I know on that part of the world, the ocean pollution coming from their waste, whether that's oil drop off, rubbish, plastic, whatever they're throwing in the water from that side. How are you going to regulate that? How are you going to say, okay, we've come to an agreement here, but now you guys can't do that? I don't know. There might be a way to do it, Again, I'm not saying, fuck it all together. I'm just looking at it realistically. What can we do collectively as a globe to fix this thing?
Yeah, I mean, people have to get on board from every nation. That's going to be the only way to make a sustainable change.
But is it going to be enough?
It depends what's implemented. It really does. I mean, because you could be looking at a world 100 years from now that is at a regulated CO2, and maybe through human change or whatever, we can, start to control the weather and prevent the next ice age. And that way people don't have to relocate closer to the equator, so who knows what's possible. I mean, we're seeing since the 40s, let's still go 1920, 100 years ago, how much technology has leaped and how it keeps leapfrogging on itself, because it's not like, from the 60s to the 80s, how technology increased. Just think about computers, to like how they used to have like it would be a whole wall in a room, and that was the computer, and you'd put in like a punch card, and it would like read out the information through a punch card. Like, and then, to have in the 80s, the Apple computer, to where we are now, all having computers in our pockets. And so, like, just thinking about how it's going to escalate, keep moving forward, it might be possible with if it's done correctly to decrease the amount of carbon that's in our atmosphere.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, though.
I think these are things we're talking about. Again, I'm not anti-climate change. I just question the level on the scale of importance.
Yeah.
How important is this? Of course it's important. I'm not saying we don't need to preserve this planet. I don't want to see this planet get wrecked. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to be realistic and look at it with a critical eye, going, what can we actually do to fix this thing? That's all I'm saying.
That makes sense. And, man, it's going to take the biggest brains and the biggest collaborative efforts. I mean, you're talking about reversing, because since the industrial age, like, we had no clue. We had no clue what we were doing. Like, humans were completely ignorant of the damage we were causing for a long time. to the point where still today there's people that don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you do? And so hopefully with knowledge and technology, we're able to come up with the means to get it done. We won't see it in our lifetimes. You know, it's gonna.
And so that was kind of the other thing with that,
Yeah.
to bring it full circle, because, you know, we did have an argument about this off air.
Yeah.
And we wanted to bring it
Well,
on
discussion.
air. A discussion. You know, a discussion that combusted. And so I think it was you that said, well, I mean, because I asked you, well, how long do you think we're going to be here, right? Who the fuck knows, right?
Yeah.
It's fun to think about.
It is.
What do you think? 250 years, I think, was your response. I think I said
Yeah.
500, you went 250.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to think about where humanity is at right now. Over 8 billion people on the planet. I could recall a time when there was, you know, I think around like 5 billion on the planet in my lifetime. So it's really tripling and doubling down. And as those numbers increase, obviously it increases faster. So like population is big and it's growing fast and naturally occurring. If we didn't have agriculture techniques, this is an obvious statement, but we wouldn't be able to feed the human populace right now. And there's like this annual life cycle that they keep track of to where, okay, have we used this year's resources yet? You know, like to where we're not trying to get it from other places or, you know, rationing stuff that we have backstocked or whatever. And like it was the year's resources were used by like August or September. So then you had like 3 or 4 months where we had to come up with this other stuff that was either backstocked or I'm not too sure exactly how it works, but I remember the whole theory about it. So you got to think about resources. You got to think about population growing. You have to think about tension, about different borders and proxy wars and things of that nature, destabilization. You know, there's a lot of different factors that come in here, and each country wanting to be sustainable and you know, but it's a world market now, so everybody gets everything from everywhere. Like everything that comes to our kitchen is from all around the world, and that's a world market. So I mean, it's a boiling pot, man, and with resources running dry, the world's getting hotter. There's already water crises all over the planet where people are in major droughts. You know, Colorado's kind of seeing a lighter winter, I feel like, and that's going to cause droughts in California and then more fires. So you're looking at all this stuff. Hurricanes are going to get worse. Like, you know, with climate change, the heat brings all these different things. So hurricanes get worse. They're going to be more frequent, you know, so there's all, so I don't know, man, maybe 250 to 300 years. You know, I would love to see humanity go to infinity and beyond, but it's, you know, with all the tension, I know it's a very long answer to what you said, but I have a thought process on this.
It's just tough to say what's going to happen next. You know, I look, I understand it all. We're probably beating a dead horse at this point. You know, should we? Of course, we should care. You know, and take precautions where we can. You know, I haven't been convinced enough that it's worth. Because if you're saying we're only going to be around 250 to 300 years.
But who knows? I mean, it could be a lot longer. I think 500 is actually a pretty good guess.
I mean, that's just.
Because people could live in the oceans, too. Like, there's ways to do it. There's
Right.
different ways to do it.
Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? And I'm not a scientist, you know. Arthur's not a scientist.
No.
We're really just drinking beer and shooting the shit on what our opinions are, you know. Because that's what it is.
It is.
Nothing that we've said is factual at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
Other than
it's
the
fun to
fact
think
that-
about, though.
yeah.
And it's interesting. I still think about it today. The Kiss the Ground documentary on Netflix, that's really cool. All the farmers out there, if you farm, you have land, you haven't seen that, and you care about the world and bringing it to a better place, I would suggest watching Kiss the Ground. I just want to put that out there again because I feel like some of the techniques they talk about and what they do on their land with, you know, intermixing different plants and animals, and it's a beautiful thing.
So much good content streaming around the world, man. There's just so much entertainment at our fingertips. And I'll tell you this, dude, I have been stuck on Yellowstone.
Yeah.
All right, I got into Yellowstone, probably my new favorite show. No, it is my new favorite show because when I get into shows, I get into them, man. Sopranos.
So when you get into anything, you get into it.
I get into it, but there's certain shows that I'll watch and not necessarily be into it, but still see it in its entirety.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Yellowstone's it right now. You know, it's The Sopranos for me. It's The Office. It's The Ranch. When I get into shows, guys, I get into it, and I am really, really into Yellowstone right now. There's 3 seasons out there, free plug for them. I think they're on Peacock, Paramount Network, wherever you can find it. What a fantastic
it's
show!
Cool. You know, Kevin's been ranting and raving about this for a while now, and I'm thinking at this point I'm going to check it out. So guess what I do? Last night I checked it out, and my girl and I, we watched it together. And it was pretty good. The first episode we watched Peacock, and so we had some ads in there. Mute those because they're super loud when they pop up.
Yeah, they do. You need to fix that, Peacock.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. That's been an ongoing battle forever. The commercials are always louder. Yeah, it's because regulations.
Getting your attention.
Yeah, let's mute it.
But it does the opposite. You mute the TV.
Yeah, just mute it.
I hate commercials.
But yeah, it was great, and there was some plot turns already that I was like not expecting in that first episode, and
yeah,
it was good. No spoilers here, but it was good.
It's always hard to talk about a show without doing any sort of spoilers, but Kevin Costner, tremendous.
Oh, I've always
absolutely
liked him.
Tremendous.
He was really good in the Superman movie too. What was the Man of Steel? Was that the?
I didn't.
Calvin Harris.
I didn't see it.
That's not the actor.
I don't think that's Kevin Costner though.
No, he was the dad.
Was he?
To Superman.
I haven't seen that one.
It was so good.
I really like Kevin Costner in The Guardian with Ashton Kutcher, where they played some Coast Guard guys.
I remember that one.
My mom loves Dances with Wolves.
Of course, that's classic. I grew up to that movie.
That's like a 3.5, 4-hour movie.
That's where he's out on the ranch and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, with the water
Tremendous.
moccasins and stuff.
There's a lot going on in that movie.
Yeah.
It's long as hell. Kevin Costner's a badass. He's the executive producer of Yellowstone. You know, the writers on the show do a tremendous job. Rip Wheeler, he's my favorite character on the program. All right? I love him. He's a man's man. Anytime I watch him, it makes me want to go out there and put a cowboy hat on and whip some ass. That's how I feel when I watch Yellowstone. I want to go out and fight.
You get a little rowdy.
I get routed up, man. I'm
That's
sitting
why
on the couch.
Kevin's
fired
been all
up,
rowdy
man.
all night because he's been watching this show.
I got riled up.
Listen, he's telling me no. He's like, no, I'm not rowdy.
I got riled up because we had technical issues when I arrived at the studio tonight.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't think the slideshow was the best option.
No, it's not working at all.
Yeah,
I
don't think it was the
sorry,
best
guys. I'm recasting this every effing 10
Yeah,
minutes.
but I think you need to get rid of the slideshow and just go back.
No,
to...
but I don't even think it's in the slideshow.
Okay, well,
This is like pre-show content. We were getting into it before trying to figure it out. So if anybody knows,
luckily it's a solo night, guys.
yeah, if anybody knows of a good way, I'm going to be doing some research. Kevin was handling this before he passed the baton to me, or actually threw it at me. So I caught
Threw it at
it
you pretty aggressively.
I caught it, and I'm going to run with this.
Yeah, I threw it at you pretty aggressively.
But yeah, it's not on the slideshow thing.
It's just, look, guys, I hate technology. I love it, but I hate it because shit like this happens, and it really makes me upset. It makes me upset because we're trying to do something here, and we have some obstacles to overcome. And you know what? That's part of life. So what we got to do, we got to adapt and overcome, and we're gonna get through it. Luckily, you guys are probably cracking up at us.
It's
dealing with the
it's quite
situation.
all right, and honestly, it's just cameras, and we're just chilling, man. This is what we do, man. We just hang out and talk. We're good friends.
Yeah.
And so I did put together some would you rather's.
Okay.
For just you, only you, Kev.
It's very rare I get asked exclusive would you rather.
Anybody else, please.
Yeah, chime in, guys.
Yeah,
this
chime
show's
in
about
on
you.
this.
Tell us what you think.
discussioncombustion.com. You can throw some would you rather's out there. I could use some help on these. I'm trying them every week here. But if you had to pick between always having a bunch of earwax in your ears at all times or having a nose full of boogers at all times, which would you choose?
That's a pretty good one, man. Because both of those suck in themselves. Because earwax obviously restricts your hearing. It's gooey. It's not pleasant. Your ears itch.
Yeah.
They start to itch. Boogers, you can't breathe. So my doctor told me when they looked at my ears, like, your ears are fucked. Like, you got a lot. Yeah, they're like, you have so much wax in there. Like, how are you hearing? And I have fantastic hearing. NASCAR races, rock and roll bands that I played in. You know, my ears, I mean, I've blown them out. But they say my hearing is impeccable.
Really?
Even with impacted waxes in there. Like, we can get that out. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. But when I Q-tip it or when I get that cotton swab in there, it's just normal.
Do you get much?
It's just normal wax. Like, I'm not seeing what they're seeing.
So is it just like, does it like, because sometimes it's just like a light yellow that's on the wax, or do you actually get like a good amount of stuff?
I get
occasionally I'll get some good stuff, and that's really satisfying.
I get a little brown in there.
Yeah.
It's mostly brown for me. But I'm not pulling out these hitters that they're talking about that are impacted in there. So I think because of my personal experience, I'll take the wax over the boogers because I hate every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do is roll out of bed and I blow out. We're in Colorado.
Yeah.
It's dry, right? So you get that dry nose. I was talking about before we went on air. I have this fucking booger in there now. This little cliffhanger.
That's how I came up with the would you rather.
It fucking hurts. All right, it hurts. It makes my eyes water when I pick it. So
And you can't get it out.
I can't get it. It's pissing me off. But I'm still gonna take.
He's gonna pick it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the earwax over the booger situation.
Okay. So I'm guilty of this. I use a Q-tip in my ear, but I have heard that that's not good to do because it kind of pushes it further in and whatnot. So if you really want a proper ear cleaning, do it professionally. I've heard that. So that's your through the wire grapevining. So if I had to choose the would you rather, which I guess I shall, I'm gonna have to go with the earwax.
Yeah.
Because I would rather be able to breathe. And like you got to think about all the extra, and then you're getting it in your throat, and then like there's nothing worse than being horsey when you talk.
I hate it.
And you can't talk, you're like choking. So yeah, I'm going with the earwax. I bet you that's almost anonymous.
Unanimous?
Unanimous. Oh yeah, anonymous is like you don't.
I don't know. Some people might be like really grossed out by earwax.
Maybe, yeah.
Here's a fun fact that I don't know if it's a fact, but something that I heard at one point is that earwax, like if you dig it out and you have like a cold sore or like a nose sore or something, earwax is actually, I don't know if it's an antiseptic, but it works as a natural remedy to contribute to the healing process of it.
Huh.
Earwax. I don't know if that's medically correct or not, guys. Maybe that's just what I've heard throughout my life growing up. But earwax can actually contribute to the healing of an open wound. I don't know if it's just on your face or where it is, but
Yeah, I would
knows,
definitely
dude?
fact check that before you rely on that one.
yeah, I'm not saying dig out some wax.
I've never heard
and
that.
smear it on there,
But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, man, because
the human body, man.
and the human mind is a powerful thing. So I try to affirm to myself powerful statements and sometimes outlandish thoughts of belief that like is this actual? Maybe it is, but only for me because I'm the one thinking it. So one thing that I've affirmed to myself throughout the past years is that my body continually uses and regenerates stem cells. So I try to visualize that. I like try to see it. Like it's repairing and healing itself. My body is constantly repairing and healing itself with stem cells. Because stem cell therapy, right? That like you could almost regrow limbs with that potentially. Like there's all this potential in the stem cells to like, have all this healing power. And so that's, the mind's a powerful thing. And I'm trying to convince myself that stem cells have never stopped working for me. And it's probably not actually happening, but it certainly is a feel good. Like, you picture that, you try to imagine that. How does it feel to get regenerated by my stem cells every single day? And like, perception's reality. And in that moment, I'm feeling pretty good. So I don't know, man. We're talking about body. We're talking about mind. It's kind of all in the same thing.
I mean, it's all, yeah. It's six half dozen in the other, as they say.
6 half dozen. What's the other?
That's the same.
What kind of dozen are you ordering?
It's six half dozen in the other.
Are you getting donuts or? I know you a Dunkin', man.
Oh, let me tell you about Dunkin', dude. I love it. Growing up in my New England roots, Dunkin's the way to go. And speaking of my New England roots, man, I just want to go ahead and say congratulations
to Brady.
Don't take my thunder. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady is look, the guy is amazing.
He's the GOAT. I mean, I'm a Broncos fan, but when you're witnessing greatness unfold every single Sunday for year after year after year after year after year, I mean, dude, this guy's been killing it.
I think Patrick Mahomes said it best when he had his post-game interview when the Kansas City Chiefs won the AFC Championship. He goes, look, Tom Brady's in his 150th Super Bowl, which we all know is not realistic because it's only the 55th Super Bowl. But just that sarcasm spoke to the reality of how
often he's there.
Tom Brady, look, I when we were in August with Chris Frazier on air, I predicted Kansas City would repeat.
That's crazy that you predicted that.
Is it though? I mean, Kansas City.
I mean,
is favored.
yeah, they're kicking ass. I mean, no,
it's very possible that Kansas City will do it, and I feel like they are the favorite. But you don't bet against Tom Brady, So I'm going to be rooting for you, Tom, because he's just the man. Anybody that's still hating on Tom Brady, all you're doing is you're hating the player, not hating the game. kind of thing.
I mean, you could have hated him if you hated the Pats, but now that he's switched teams, like, don't hate on the guy because he likes comfy Uggs, you know? Don't hate on the guy because he has a great diet, you know? I mean, if it's hard to be disciplined, and it takes time and effort, and so, like, if you've ever tried to really be disciplined and you recognize discipline when you see it, and you can see that, okay, yeah, they're doing it, they're getting it, and they're holding themselves to their goals, you know, then why would you to have any hate in your heart for people or discontent? And I mean, there's obviously disagreement, which is okay, but to completely like overwhelm your emotions with negativity over another individual, I feel like is a waste of energy. It's okay to recognize that you disagree with their outlook or their opinion, and you may even want to counteract that by saying something. But, you know, let's all do it tastefully. You know, let's respect one another to the core, and let's all realize that everyone is just as important as we are. Like, I'm no better than Kevin. Kevin's no better than me. We're no better than you. Like, we're all equals on this planet, regardless of color, regardless of financial situation. You know, so to sit here and have that kind of emotion, hate in your heart, it's a waste of time to me.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. I think that was worded, you know, brilliantly. But with sports, people are passionate. You know, people live and die by this stuff. They put money on it. You know, and I can respect that. I'm a huge sports fan. You know, for me, NASCAR is number one, NFL is number two. Always has been.
I mean, I could see like, you know, Tom Brady he beats your team all the time as the Pats, and then now he's beating your team. Like, he just keeps beating your team. I could see how sports hate is okay. You know, because that's more like a competitive. That's more competitive, than actual hate.
But I think, and it's okay to be upset that, because I can relate that to Kyle Busch. If we're going to translate this NASCAR, I have so much respect for Kyle Busch because he's a fantastic race car driver. The guy wins races, but he's a hated individual in the sport because he's a dickhead. You know, he's always causing problems. He's not favorable in post race interviews. But I respect the hell out of Kyle Busch. The same reason people hated Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson. These guys were class acts. You know, won tons of races, tons of championships. We'll never see another Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson era, I don't think, in NASCAR. The hate that they have for Tom Brady just blows my mind. It's okay to root against him. I think that's one thing.
Yeah.
But to sit here and suggest and not admit to yourself that you're witnessing greatness. I mean, let's really talk about what Tom Brady's done here in the last year since he's left the New England Patriots, my home team.
I mean, I don't know the stats, so you about to hit us with some?
Yeah, I mean, just a couple things across the board. I mean, tremendous. When you look at Drew Brees and you look at Aaron Rodgers, two quarterbacks that I have tremendous respect for, two of the best to ever play the game. What do they both have? One NFC championship each. All right. Tom Brady, his first year in the NFC, right? Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to the NFC championship. 2 games that they had to win on the road. Who'd they have to beat? Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers on the road.
Yeah.
They had to beat both of them on the road. Tom gets it done. He wins his first NFC championship in his first year in the NFC. Both those guys only have one NFC championship. So Tom tied them in their first year, beating both of them in their home stadiums. Damn. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
That is pretty intense. Yeah, you know, that's kind of like that comeback story. You know, even though he's been on top, but like he switched teams up, and you know, a lot of people wanted to see him not make it, so he's kind of like the underdog this year, where everybody like wanted his team not to work well or whatever, and Tampa hasn't been the hottest team in the last 10 years. You know, so
20 years.
Yeah, so it's a cool story, man, and that sports can be really inspiring in that, because you get to see people prevail. Like, you want to see people, like, people enjoy seeing a win, like a hard fought, genuine win. Like that feels good to watch. It's inspiring. Like, it feels good to be a part of that. Like, and that's what he's doing, man.
It's incredible. And to be fair, you know, I do believe this is a team sport, and Tom says the same thing.
People are killing.
Class act, Tom Brady. First thing he does when the NFC Championship is being presented, what does he say? You guys are tired of hearing from me. Let's talk to someone else. Who else do you want to interview? You know?
Yeah.
You know, that's just who he's a class act, guys. He truly is.
Yeah.
You know, I understand you're going to have some frustration with him, but I want to also, you know, tip my hat to the Tampa Bay defense, because they did tremendous holding. They had plenty of opportunities. Brady threw 3 picks in the second half of that NFC Championship game. 3 picks.
Really?
One of them was a tip pick. So what can you really count with that? But Aaron Rodgers had a chance to capitalize. The Green Bay offense had a chance to capitalize. They didn't, because Tampa Bay defense restricted them. But when you give the ball back to Brady and he's in a position to protect the lead, he does it every time. He's such a clutch player. Absolutely amazing. I know Shannon Sharp's going to disagree with me. You know, him and Skip, I love watching those two go at it. But good for Tom, man. I just, good for him. You know, as a New England Patriots fan, what he did for our organization for 20 years, I am so happy for him to go into the NFC in his first year and go to the Super Bowl with that team. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And we all know that you love Brady. We know it.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, everybody knows.
I was kind of a dick about it at first. If you go back to
your feelings were hurt.
it was like a bad breakup.
And now you're like, you're over it.
here.
You're like, I'm just happy to see you doing good.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see you doing well.
And that's the reality. And look, also, is in the same breath, I'm a sports guy, and I always like to give credit when credit's due. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely deserve to be in the Super Bowl again. I felt in my heart you guys were going to repeat, and I still probably feel that way. My intuition is telling me Kansas City might get the win, but I am rooting for Tom Brady just because I want him to solidify.
So what are you doing for the Super Bowl?
I haven't thought about it.
Can we just do like a little 4-person thing?
I mean, we can do whatever we want, really.
Like just some,
but I haven't even thought
little...
about Super Bowl plans yet.
Well, it's 2 weeks out.
Because we got Pro Bowl this Sunday, Super Bowl is the week after that, and then Daytona 500, baby. We're back racing. We are back.
Vroom, vroom, baby. Mikey Wheels, that one's for you.
I'm stoked, dude. I'm stoked. And there's still time to get in on our fantasy league.
I don't play fantasy.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, dude,
people. It's $25.
Yeah, no, thanks. I see how you perform in that. I'm good. Kevin's like, basically, can you pay me for your time and effort?
No, I don't think that at all.
Yeah, you want my $25.
No, I want
you want it.
Everybody's in the league to compete for the same reason. And
yeah,
you know,
I don't know enough.
El Jefe, our good buddy Jeff, he's watching this right now, and I know you think you're going to take me this year, Jeff, but you're not. 4 years in a row, buddy. 4 years in a row.
Yeah, and if you're looking at some stickers down south, go ahead and you're listening because of that reason, go ahead and tip a hat
to El Jefe.
To El Jefe, because that boy been on a ground campaign.
He has,
boy.
man. He has.
Woo!
Yeah, he sure has. But man, I love sports. You know that. I'm stoked. We got great Super Bowl. We got Daytona coming up. I'm pumped for sports.
It is fun.
So
if you had to choose, man,
you going into another Would You Rather?
Yeah.
All right.
If you had to decide,
I like the logo situation mellowed out.
No, it's just this 10 minutes is taking longer than normal.
We got to get this straightened out, guys.
Yeah,
we will.
We will. So if you had to decide, would you rather work in a crematory, or the greasiest, most greasy fast food chain on the line?
Greasiest fast food chain on the line.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I am a pussy when it comes to dead bodies, blood. I don't like it. All right, I went to a couple open casket funerals growing up. It fucking traumatized me.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable. So anything I can do to avoid working with dead bodies, I'll take the other option.
Yeah.
And so I'll take the greasy fast food restaurant.
The greasiest fast food gets you pimple.
I'll get nasty rather than dealing with bodies. You know?
Yeah. It depends. It depends what position at the crematory for me, honestly, because you know, in this Would You Rather, there's not a specific position. Like I couldn't do the balming person who, you know, drains the body and like.
Okay, well that's what I thought you were asking me.
Well, no, I'm just, you would work at a crematorium.
I mean, if I'm like the dude keeping, like if I'm the accountant for them or something, you know, and I'm up in the office, okay, that's different.
Well, you already made your choice. You're working,
I know how your Would You Rathers work.
You're working the line.
That's what I was expecting. I thought I was fucking hoofing bodies out of the hearse into the fire.
I mean, you'll have to help here and there with stuff. So you're not cutting them open and draining them, but you still have to handle the dead bodies and help with the funerals.
I'll take the grease.
Taking the grease. I'm going crematory because you know you get to create that moment. You get to be a part of that, and I feel like, you know, helping families in that way. As long as I wasn't like doing the draining and stuff, like I could deal with, you know, transporting and setting up stuff and being in the cemeteries, you know, because there's a lot of beautiful cemeteries. You know, you might do some military ones, get to see some really cool memorials, opposed to the kitchen.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, looking at the mashup there, I still just knowing what.
This thing.
My stance is on. I don't feel comfortable being. It just makes me uncomfortable, I think. But being greasy and all nasty isn't pleasant either.
Yeah, you got to shower frequent.
Yeah.
You know, you got to shower. I mean, if you're not showering after that work, like because you got to be like, you know, all the fryers and stuff. and nodding my hat to all the workers. I mean, because that's tough work. And
Absolutely.
And I go to a lot of fast food chains. I'm trying to do less. So little update on January. I started off trying to do dry January. That was a abort mission. But I was still trying to implement some changes with drinking because I feel like it's a lot of empty calories because it is. And so I've been drinking less during the weeks. I'll like end my night with water and tea. I'll have some like 3 drinks during the evening, maybe opposed to like 5 or 6, and maybe take a day off during the week. So I've been doing that. I've been trying to do the daily fast. So I try to fast for 14 to 16 hours. So eat at 8 p.m. last. Then you're waiting to like 10 to 12, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. the next day. So I try to eat, around like 6 or 7 p.m. so I could eat a little bit earlier the next day. Portion control. I'm trying to do that where it's smaller portions, not eating so late, which goes into fasting. And then also cycling still. I'm doing the stationary cycle. So I'm feeling good, man. I feel like January has been a great start to 2021. I really hope a lot of people out there are crushing their goals. Let's set some goals and then let's crush them because it feels really good. And, from 7 weeks ago till now, when I first started riding, dude, I really feel like I'm starting to see a difference.
That's what it takes, man. You get out what you put in, right? Dry January, I know you were gung-ho about it. Or what you say?
Gun-ho?
Yeah. You say gun. What'd you say?
Gun-ho.
Gun-ho. I think
Yeah,
it was
like,
John X that straightened it out.
Gun-ho. Yeah, it was
John X
John
like,
X.
are you saying gun-ho?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, gun-ho. And
So-
it's gung-ho.
It is.
I had no idea.
And you were amped up going into dry January.
Yeah.
But you've made some improvements this month, man. So it's not a complete, just because you didn't not drink alcohol for the whole month doesn't mean shit. You made a plan to make an adjustment this month, do things differently, do things better for yourself. You've done that.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to go cold turkey, like they say. I'm trying to actually develop habits that are going to be healthy and sustainable for me moving forward, and I want to enjoy my life still. And I'll tell you, because I used to just wake up and eat breakfast. And I'm getting all cheery just thinking about it. But, dude, I get so excited for that first meal of the day. You have no idea. I'm, like, super happy about it. I feel like a dog, like, was just waiting for dinner and you put wet food in the dry food. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get really happy about that, man. And that's what so overcoming opiates has been a huge thing for me. And finding joy in other areas was a struggle for a long time. Like, seeing the light in life, was difficult for me for a very long time. And it feels good, man, to look forward to things that are, healthy and productive and find a lot of joy in that. Like, finding joy in eating the food or listening to an awesome song while I'm working and sipping coffee, like enjoying that moment. And, yeah, so I'm really excited for the rest of this year. I mean, I know it's just another spin around the sun, but 2020 was rough. I feel like there's a lot of great things on the horizon for a lot of people, and I'm really hoping everybody out there is treating themselves well and doing their best to challenge themselves.
This is the life we live, man. You pave the path that you want to walk. You make the bed you want to lay in. And it's up to all of us to kind of choose the path we want to walk down. There's a lot of different options out there. You can go home and get drunk every night like I do sometimes, or you can put your nose to the grindstone and get out there and get it done. It's whatever you want out of this life, man. It's really a personal choice. There's been a lot of things to keep people convinced not to do certain things. It's been a difficult year, no question. And I don't think we're out of the woods yet. We're definitely not out of the woods. We still got a lot of shit.
We're still in a pandemic. Pandemic is real. This shit ain't changed. It's just us. Fine, nothing's changed right now, man. I mean, it's still, there's a lot of people who have lost people in the last year, and it's kind of just a silent nod to 2020 because, like, as January is coming to a close, I finally feel. I feel like I'm still in 2020. I feel like 2020 is still, a mindset. Like 2020 is moving forward. 2020 will just be a mindset. Like, shit, man, that's 2020. It's like it's like 2030, and you're like, dude, what you said was depressing, and that's 2020.
That's the type of stuff
It's a mindset now.
It is, and it's going to be like a phrase that becomes coined almost, like, oh, that's some 2020 shit. You know,
Yeah.
hindsight's 2020, meaning the other 2020, the year of 2020. And the internet's crazy how they do that type of shit and make things roll. You know, the hashtag this and that and the other thing. Let's talk about these Bernie Sanders memes, bro.
Well, I mean, it's just
Here's
him
the thing.
sitting there.
What amazes me,
And I'm surprised he gave us that photo and didn't show up tonight.
it's yeah, thanks Bernie for being here but not being here, kind of thing. We had a little bit of fun with that, like everybody else did.
Yeah,
but
that's
what
funny.
blows my mind about memes and the way the internet works is something becomes so popular and hot, it gets rolling, right? I mean, literally inauguration night, that meme, boom, rolling. By Friday night, it was everywhere. You've seen it fucking everywhere, including on us. We had some fun with it, you know? And now here we are, literally 1 week since it debuted. 1 week ago was when the Bernie Sanders meme became a thing. And now it's starting to fizzle out. It'll still be there. You're still
Yeah.
going to see it popping up. But now it's like, all right, I'm sick of it. What's next? And that's what the internet's done to us. It's conditioned us to be like, just cling to what's trending, what's the new thing, what's going viral right now. And that fucking took 2021 by the balls coming out of the gate strong. That's going to highlight, when we look back at 2021, that's how we opened it, was the Bernie Sanders meme. It's fucking everywhere. Anyone listening or watching this right now has seen it somewhere, no question.
Well, so Reddit releases like, memes of the year. Definitely January is going to be a toss-up between Bernie memes and the insurrectionists at the Capitol.
As far as what's remembered the most,
Yeah,
Fair, that's fair.
It's going to be a toss-up for January.
As far as the memes and the viral stuff go, the hashtags, you know,
Yeah.
Bernie mittens or whatever the hashtag is. First of all, the lady that makes those mittens, I'm sure you're doing fine. You know, I think you have a lot of mitten business going on right now, and good for you.
Is it a lady? What brand mittens
I don't know.
are those? Do we
I
even
don't
know
know.
the brand?
Bernie
We're not plugging that.
Bernie talked about it
Regardless.
in an interview he did. He's like, oh, yeah, I have these mittens from this person, and I'm sure they're doing well, which is cool. So that's the plus side to things going viral.
It is.
Right? It can blow something up immediately. But, I mean, literally everything has had that meme integrated into it at this point, it seems like. Everybody's done it.
Because everyone hops on the train. Like, yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
That's the
with
crazy thing with the
social
trends.
media is like, you want to stay relevant, stay active, and if you're not setting trends all the time, then you kind of follow the trends, and even trendsetters follow trends too. I mean, that's just how it goes.
It's fun. It gives everybody a laugh, so that's what I like about it. I'm not going to say it's completely like negative and what a waste of time and this isn't productive at all. I understand that argument, but it provides a little bit of entertainment. It brings some fun and laughter. We have fun with it. When you see those memes and you see Bernie in a situation that you're familiar with, like when we cut him into our meme, it's funny.
It's
funny, and that's the point of it. But it's just it's interesting to see what the internet has done in the last 10 years with those kind of situations, how memes have provided this.
I mean, they're hilarious. Like, you could tell you can express a whole emotion, and it's just great, man. Like, there's nothing more satisfying than someone like saying something and then you like have the one, and then you send it and it's like perfect fit meme, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that's the one. And like, that feeling is awesome.
Yeah.
Where you just crushing the meme game.
Well,
you got
'cause
a mean game. You got a meme. Damn it. You got a mean
meme game?
meme. I can't say it.
But that's if you're communicating via memes, right?
Yeah.
Because we have emojis.
Meme game.
We have emojis. We have
Yeah.
GIFs, which GIFs I have a lot of fun with because they're basically,
Me too, because people don't know what they're getting.
they don't know what they're getting. And to quote my old bandmate, my old drummer, I love him to death. He goes, man, stop sending me the pictures that move. That was his take on GIFs. Why are you sending me pictures that move? He didn't understand it, and I think that's fucking hilarious. But I love
That is
communicating
funny.
with GIFs because you can, like an emoji, like a smiley face or whatever, the GIF makes it a little bit more, I don't know if you want to say personal, but can capture
Just
that.
adds some more flavor.
Gives it a little more flavor, man. So
and actually, GIFs can be memes as well, though. That's the thing. It's like a still image and also a GIF with title is both a meme.
that's true. So what makes a meme is either a still image or a GIF with.
Yeah.
Does it have to be writing over it though to make it a meme? Because what we did wasn't. Now I don't know.
So I think a meme has to have writing, And a GIF could just be an image.
But here's the thing. So with all the Bernie stuff, because we've seen it everywhere, like anything that you do or love, you've seen Bernie somehow sitting there with his mittens and his mask on. Not all of them have writing over it. So is that a meme or what is it?
So I guess if it's a still image with no writing, it's still a meme because it's capturing the essence. So what, is just a picture a meme now, even if it doesn't have words?
I don't know.
That's a picture. Okay, so that's not
So it's a photoshopped image.
Yeah, that's a photoshopped image.
That's what it is.
A meme has writing on it. A meme could also be a moving image with writing on it, and then a GIF is just a moving image without writing. I don't know, but I feel like that's correct. That's my guess.
So here's the definition. By definition, a meme is an element of a culture or system of behavior that may be considered passed from one individual to another. Especially imitation. That's the definition of a meme.
Dude, that's very wide open.
Well, it does keep.
It encompasses so many things.
Yeah, it keeps the door pretty wide open on what it could be. But by definition, as a noun, that's what a meme is considered.
That's interesting.
But I mean, it's constantly changing and evolving into different things, especially in recent history. Like really, I feel like since social media has become relevant in most people's lives, that's where it took off. Text messaging. Facebook, all that shit. That's where memes blew up. You'd see, what was that one with the damn, I'm sure you've seen it, where the girl's like kind of crying halfway and she's mad, and the cat. He's all,
I don't know where the cat came from, but I'm pretty sure it was off of like a Real Housewives or drama reality or something.
So where'd the cat come from?
I don't know. Where'd the cat come from?
Every time I see that meme, right, that's what it is, I'm like, what is going on here? It's funny because like I understand, like you can see the context of the argument. Like she's pissed off about something, and the cat's like, well, "Fuck off," like that's the context.
I'm the cat.
That's the context of the meme. But that shit went viral as fuck, dude. I saw that shit everywhere.
It's a classic.
The last few years,
dude. It's still around. It's classic.
So
people have remade it in other images.
That's the beauty of the internet. That's like the pros and cons kind of thing. Like, well, you know. Gives us a little bit of entertainment, but I don't know, man.
Make sure to limit your internet time. I've been also trying to do my best to put down the phone and actually enjoy my thoughts more and not always have an input into my brain. Instead, I put an output out there. Like, let me use my thoughts. Let me think about myself. Let me think about my life. And that's really big for me, man. So I kind of suggest all of us do that. And for this week, man, for the Believe and Achieve, I kind of want to tie it back into something earlier that we were talking about, and that's believing the people around us. Let's believe in our peers. Let's believe in our coworkers and believe in the people around us. And by achieving, let's achieve letting them know that we do believe in them, that they're capable. And just letting them know, because it's a struggle sometimes, man, and just hearing somebody tell you, what, I notice your work ethic and you're awesome at your job, or I think that you're great in this relationship, like you're the best girlfriend, and so I appreciate you for being amazing to me. Whatever it is, whoever it is, believe in your fellow people, your children, your friends, your peers, and achieve letting them know that. And that's an easy one that we could do this week. I think anyone could do that.
I like that a lot, man. Yeah, and to piggyback off that, I think it does show great value when you can express to somebody, not necessarily your appreciation for them, but just say, hey, man, thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for being here. Making that acknowledgement, I think that speaks volume. When you can acknowledge someone's presence and what it means to you, like, hey, man, thanks for this phone call. Thanks for this podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Acknowledging that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, all the listeners. I mean, talk about wind in the sails. Kevin and I would do this regardless, but, seeing the feedback that we get, our listenership, our viewership, I mean, we really are so thankful, and we feel blessed to have people like y'all that are on this journey with us, because we're just being ourselves here, man, and it's a beautiful life, and it's fun to share it, and we're humbled that people are willing to let us share it with them. Yeah,
you bet, man. You hit it right on the head there. This is this has turned into something that, you know, we just screwed around for a few weeks and had some fun with it, and it's turned into something more than that. We like to take it seriously. We like to have fun. We like to include you guys, you know, because really that's what it is. It's about any and everybody, and you guys are tuning in weekly, listening, joining us, following us on social, interacting with us. That just makes it all worth it. You know, it really does. It's a family thing. You know, we speak volumes to that here and what we believe in with our mission statement, being critical, loving, accepting, including everybody. You know, the tattoo I carry on my arm about beyond blood. Family and friends make you the richest man. I will say that until I'm dead. It's truly something that I will carry to my grave, man. I really believe that. That's the biggest thing you have in this life. It doesn't matter what car you drive, what clothes you wear. You know, it's the people around you, the experiences that you create. You know, this is it, man. This is the life that we live. You know, and if you're fortunate enough to have great people around you, honor it, cherish it, love it, experience it, because that is better than any price tag on any car or piece of clothing I could ever own.
Yeah, absolutely. Believe and achieve. Go like hell. Own it. Let her rip, Tater Chip. We're going to be back to you next week. You know we keep it steady. We have some things in the mix. We're not going to drop the guest name yet, so it'll be a surprise on that. And this one's closing out January. Guys, we'll catch you in February, and it's going to continue to be a great year. I believe in everybody out there, man. I believe in everybody.
Absolutely. You guys are the best in the business, no question. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for hanging with us tonight with some technical issues with our logo behind us. We will get that straightened out. We can assure you of that. And that's it, man. That's all I got. You know, you guys are the best. You all be good to yourselves. 'Cause you already know.
You deserve it.
Y'all deserve it. See you back here next week. We got some fun coming your way.